Yeah, they played their very first match.
And they're the winners, right?
Yeah, they're both winners. It's just that in terms of the way the tournament is structured, Enigma 9 would be first pick.
Yeah, so this is the second round of
on announcement, so you can just copy it from there.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
I'm back in the lobby. See if okay, there we go. I'm back on again.
are we live?
Yeah. Yeah, we're live. But I don't think our audios are live, right?
Okay, wait. Let me just wait. Yeah, you can. Wait. Let me give me a second. Let me just ask. Let me just see. Don't start yet. Who's lobby host? That's Doof. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you can just tell me when to start.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're just sorting out a few things. We're about to get ready. As you can see, the players are lined up. The band's already made or semi-made.
Okay, we start. Oh, we on? Oh,
yeah.
my bad. Sorry. Go on. Go
Um,
on. Yeah, you can.
yeah.
Yeah. Ira, you good?
Yeah. Judging by these previous teams' last place, which side are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards. I mean, they both had dominating game. They both had. I feel like they got baited. I feel like Angel King's side, Holy Seraphs, had a pretty dominating game. But in terms of synergy, I don't know. It's a very difficult game to put here. I think both teams have it. But what I'm seeing here is that, so in this game, in case you guys are wondering, there was a 5-man ban. So both teams requested that. 2 bans were banned before the game, and then 3 will be banned in the game, which is why you see the Belleric ban and the Joyhead ban, because those are exactly the heroes that were picked by Holy Seraphs there. But we see Nemesis Prime on his comfortable Aldous here. So he didn't play the last game, but he's going to be coming in for this game here. Mimic is going to be picking up the Owlet. That's what he seems to be circling. I do like the Fredrin here, but that is a very risky, especially since Enigma 9 picked Curry in the last game. So Kerry, they'll pick it here. I think they'll pick it. What do you think?
To the side of Seraphs, they have to, if Enigma doesn't ban or pick Kerry right now, they have to ban it. They have to ban or pick, because it can be a very difficult hero to go up against, especially if you're going for a more tanky type of draft. But I think, they're going for the WAN this early. There's still a lot of counter picks the Seraphs can go for, the Phobius as well. Which I see that a lot of people don't like to go the Phobius against the WAN, which I think is a missed opportunity, because its benefits are boundless, in my opinion. But to the side of Seraphs, they're going for the Clint into the WAN. I think both these teams are gearing up for a more team fight oriented draft. Except the Aldous, it's a very, I don't want to say weird pick, but it can be flexed in multiple ways. Sometimes you can use it in the jungle, you can use it in the EXP. You can use it in the EXP to gain stacks a lot quicker, because I've seen a lot of Aldous players, they rotate insanely. So you just see them across the map everywhere. Also, the ult gives vision, so it's a very good ult. But because the Seraphs are going to play a more team fight oriented draft, I don't necessarily know if it's a good hero to go with. But as I've said, comfort beats draft anytime, any day of the week.
It is a pretty risky minnow pick here, especially since they don't have the next ban. I mean, they could just easily pick Diggy here, so I think minnow was risky, unless they've locked the Valentina maybe, but
no, I don't
yeah,
think they will go
also
with
no
Diggy.
Jinx plays Diggy, so it might be difficult for
No, I
them.
don't think they'll go the Diggy. All the first 3 picks are very damage oriented, so they need somebody to be that front laner. Also, the Dara pick here is very questionable. They don't really have an out and out front laner, which is very interesting. If they do pull this draft out, I'll have to admit that Enigma 9 is extremely good, because I have concerns about that draft.
I
What
mean,
about you?
the Dira does a pretty good job against the Fred. I mean, in terms of melting him. So I think maybe that was the reason they picked up the Fred. It's just, but you're all right. They're pretty bit squishy, but they can make it work. Maybe if they're going for the late game with the Aldous will be doing very late game damage here. Yeah, but you're all right with the bans. You see the bans here, the Nana, Billeric, and Joe here. Those are exactly what the heroes that were picked by by Holy Seraphs in the last game, so it might be a bit of a psyche play to see, how it's going. But yeah, it's to see how it
Helping them
goes.
out. It's a coward's gambit, as they call it, the coward's gambit. But yeah. So in terms of draft, I'm sorry, I'm just going to lean towards the side of Holy Seraphs. Although the Eve is very questionable, especially if you know they have a Aldous that can just easily dive into the back line with no, hesitation at all. Um,
Hmm.
it'll be a very hard. I think Eve will have a very hard game, but these things are very player dependent. So maybe we'll see an outplay of outplays, but it's very interesting drafts. It's very interesting drafts.
Yeah. Also another thing here in this game, uh, I guess it is going to be a better up the late game, but they banned the Eve. I mean, they buffed the Eve. I, I wouldn't say she's like back to normal, man. I feel like they nerfed her too much, but they did buff the Eve, so maybe that's the hero. That's the reason they picked him up. So in terms of like map control in the
Buff
team
is
fight, they have a bit of
it's length
power there.
oriented, if I'm not mistaken, right? The
Sorry.
buff on the Eve, it just increased the length, or was it the damage buff?
A bit of both. Damage. They buffed the slow and the bit of damage for Eve. The big thing for Eve was always the out range. And as soon as enough that Eve wasn't so strong, man. She still has such a big map, but like, yeah, they got nerfed. Anyway, the Clint versus 1-1 in nice 1v1 there, but it looks like 1-1 has gotten the advantage there. Eve is going top lane, kind of circled down. But there are now 4 members of Enigma 9 in the top lane. So I think they're gonna. Oh, Diggy is not Diggy rather. Clint is in a terrible position here, but he's gonna recall and just get back to safety.
Yes, and I think he's also going to build towards the endless battle first, which personally, as a Clint main, I haven't really seen a lot of people build endless battle first. So because it doesn't really offer a lot of benefits in the early game, especially something you can take towards the mid, but in the early game you need that kind of damage to you bully people, because that's what Clint is meant for. But I'm seeing a possible gank towards the Clint in the top lane, especially since he used his flicker already, but they decide not to do it. But they're all just mashed up in the top lane, while the Seraphs just take a free turtle. It's a very weird rotation from the side of Enigma. I don't know what's the objective behind this, but
I think they were gonna
I think
try to get the 1-1 fed, but I think they're gonna lose the turtle here. What?
oh, Conan with the retribution.
I'm not so sure what happened there. They lost 2 members and the turtle. I think they took too long to get the turtle. Because at some point they were
And a
even
solo kill
one
at top.
lane, man. I think they stalled it a
And a
bit
solo
because there
kill
were
on
4
top.
members of Enigma 9 at the top lane, so they could have taken the lane. I mean, they could have taken the turtle there, but I think he hesitated just a bit.
Yes. I don't know how the Seraphs are going to counter this, or just try to regain the early game advantage, because that's what they need to actually be effective in this game. And it seems as though they're engaging on the Clint, but unfortunately the Wen isn't able to get a weakness finder, and she's still locking down this lane, so it's still a lot of gold denied to the side of Clint.
Zero versus Aldous. I'm not Aldous. This is a spread, but look, see that damage, man, coming in from the Zero, melting down the thread here. Because I mean, Eve with a very good ult. Will he be able to get the kill? He might be. Oh, Florin ult. Oh, look at Aldous flying. That's beautiful, man. Aldous flying in across the map. Gonna try to get something here from the one, but no. Clint doing a pretty good job of keeping them away. He's getting ganked a lot, but he's managing to keep his hold his own.
I think he only survived there because the Wen doesn't really have a lot of mana, and you see
You see that
Angel
mount?
King being dived on. Conan
Yeah, getting
just
mounted by the third. I mean, by the
just
Dira.
popping off on this A-Rod. I will have to admit, I underestimated his D-Rod. I underestimated this D-Rod. And they seem to be, using this advantage to carry on. The mid torrent is almost, if I'm not mistaken, the gold shield is already taken off. So they're really trying to stretch their lead, and it shows in the gold deficiency because they're leading towards like 4-3 diamond gold lead. So it's sorry, I'm not saying diamond. A gold lead, 4K gold lead, and
Definitely. And
hello.
the thing about Geralt is that it does well against those tanky heroes, right? I'll be back in a bit, Ara. Just speak quickly.
Yes, and Conan gets another kill here. It seems as though he's going to snowball on this Dayroth. And there's almost little to nothing that the Seraphs can do. But this is still relatively early. And as we know, the Clint can kind of pop off. The R-Lord has his uses, especially with no Diggy, so he can have free reign onto the back line. But the Nemesis here, he's already taken an advantage. He's already up a level, and as we know, he scales extremely well. So if the Allot isn't taking advantage, it's going to be a very difficult game for the side of Seraphs. And we get a kill at top lane as they engage, and Conan gets a. Is that a double kill? No, it's
Was
just
a major
a
kill,
kill.
yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
a double kill. I don't know why. I thought that was a
no,
double kill. My bad.
yeah, no, it's fine. I
Um,
think it's working out for the side of Enigma 9. Yeah, it's not necessarily the heroes themselves. I think the heroes are a pretty big factor there, but the top lane, they managed to get the one fed early game so that she is able to do those crazy things. Like right now, she's busy melting down the Clint. Unfortunately, even his early game protection there is not working out because like one is the problem. Because remember that's how they banned him. That's why they banned him in the first game. That's his
yes.
main hero. See? Yeah.
Oh. So it's unfortunate that the Holy Service couldn't do their research. So he's really good on this WAN, I've seen. He's also a very good marksman. He knows how to play the advantage, and there's a kill at bot lane. It does not look good for the Seraphs because another torrent gets taken down, mid gets climbed on, a buff gets taken. I have to applaud
Yeah.
the side of Enigma, if I'm not mistaken. They really know how to press their advantage. They really know how to, they're very objective based. They're going for the torrents immediate, and they're going for a free turtle as well as Khan takes the turtle. They're really stretching their advantage. This is something I really love to see. Not a lot of teams focus on, and we're seeing an engage here at top lane by Angel King towards the WAN, but she managed to get the weaknesses and another kill. It's, if I'm not mistaken, that's 0-5-1 to the side of Angel Kill. It's not looking good. He's supposed to be their front laner, the one who tanks all the damage, but it's unfortunate right now that he's just getting melted by not even. I don't think WAN has 3 items, so the fact that he's melting him at the moment, it doesn't really fare well for the side of the Seraphs.
Definitely. I think the key issue here for Seraphs is that they have the heroes, but the damage isn't there, man, and they're so far behind here. They're unable to do, like, you have the Minnow, but he's not able to set for anyone. Another thing. I mean, there isn't a set mage for Minnow to work with. Like, even if Minnow out, who's gonna kill? That's what I'm thinking. Who's gonna burst them down?
Maybe they were hoping for final slash into a real manipulation, and we have Wen Triggerly, the crossbow of Tang, with God using the ult, but he attacks no one. And is he going to survive? Mimic survives somehow. I think though, how did he survive that? How did he survive that? Are you still there?
Going on. Harlot going in for the engage. Very good. Oh, very good engage from the Harlot. They managed to get to the back line. They might be in a good position to get the next Lord here. I mean, Conway's going to be coming back in the next. He's back on the map, but like, very good response from Holy Seraphs.
Yes, a very good response, but it still doesn't pay well as the gold gets the buff. I think this one might be Angel King's first buff in a while. I think maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, that's, that really goes to show the type of advantage that Enigma 9 has created. They're stretching it almost to a 10k gold lead before 10 minutes. That is crazy. That is crazy.
No, it's just also the outlook is going to be a problem in the late game. So I feel like in this, what Holy Seraph can do is maybe play the bit safe, try to make an Ibn make a lot more mistakes. Keep them at bay. Hopefully that might work out in their favor.
Yes. I also like to apologize to Enigma 9 because I didn't necessarily believe in this draft. But here it's working out. It's working out, especially the Dayroth, which is something I was very adamant against. But now we're seeing an engage from the Dayroth here. Who got the Minnow gets killed. The Wan activates the crossbow of Tang. She kills off Sensei, but now Mimic is the one on the crossfire. But Nemesis might get the kill, and he does. And it's a 4-for-1 trade towards the side of Enigma, and the Lord is pushing forward. I don't think she'll be able to defend this. This looks like a GG, and it is as they focus on the base as this is what first game goes to Enigma. That is a wonderful play. That is a very wonderful play. And they played that really well. They managed it very well. They pushed the Torrents when they had to, which we haven't seen a lot of in this tournament because a lot of people focus on the kills, but they focus the Torrents and they end the game in under 10 or in under 11 minutes. That is amazing. That is outstanding from the side of Enigma. They're really showing their dominance here.
Definitely, I think in this game, what Holy Seraphs needs to do is maybe just figure out their drafts a bit. I mean, I don't even think it was a draft thing. I think it was the draft thing in the beginning, but I think they could have done something with their picks. It's just that they weren't working with together. They had the Eve, but then they also have a Martyrs. Not Martyrs, but the Minnow. Minnow's a pretty good hero for stitching, but they didn't have anyone to burst. They had the Outlet, but they didn't have enough damage. Someone that can instantly do something dramatic on the map was what needed. But I mean, they've got time to do that. The next game is coming up. Let's just see how they do it.
Yeah. But also towards the credit of Enigma 9, the Aldous pick kind of took away some of the things that Angel King want, or rather, some of the things that the Seraphs wanted to do. Going an Eve into an Aldous doesn't necessarily very well in terms of team fight because you can just skip throughout the team and just go directly towards the damage dealers, which kind of stretches the point where non-conventional heroes or non-meta specific heroes can also be a problem. They can also just I don't want to say counter, but they can also just be useful in terms of like playing the game, especially if you're gonna have a draft center around them. So it was a very good game, not only because of the draft, but because they've managed it very well. Their rotations was on point. If I'm not mistaken, there was even a point where there was like 4-5 heroes maybe at bot lane at one time. So they really managed that very well. I'm really shell shocked at how quickly that ended. I don't know if it's conveying through my voice, but I'm really surprised at how quickly that ended. Because my, draft wise, I was leaning towards the side of the Seraphs. They had, except for the Clint, who I was very hesitant in terms of going for, especially because unless you build or unless you snowball with the Clint, it's very hard for him to be effective in team fight oriented games. So but for them to lose or rather win that quickly, it's astonishing in my opinion. What about you? What are your thoughts on the game? Or which was the player that surprised you the most?
The player that surprised me the most is the one that went AFK. That looks like they're requesting a 4v5. I'm gonna go sort that out on WhatsApp quickly to see what the issue is. They're saying that their player has an emergency. Let me just sort that out whilst you do the analysis. It looks like we might have to do just only one upper bracket game, but we're gonna try to do both. Let me just see what the issue is.
Okay. We seem to be having troubles with the team. I think one of the players is not available, or they left, or an emergency has happened. So you're gonna have to forgive us for that. I think it's the Seraphs. I think the Seraphs. Is it the Seraphs?
No, it's
No.
Enigma 9.
Who are they missing?
They're missing a player. Let me just sort out this thing, yeah. With the teams, let me see what the issue is.
They also have a sub, if I'm not mistaken.
1, 2, 3,
Is the
4.
sub also not available?
There are 4 subs.
Yeah, so it's 1 out of 4 not available.
Let me just see.
But yeah, we seem to be having trouble sorting out the teams. But in the meantime, I'd like to remind everybody about the prize. It is 1.5 for the winners. Just to reiterate, it's 1.5 for the winners, 1K for the runner-ups, and 500 for third place. 500 for third place. But the players are not the only ones who can get to win tonight. As we've said, if you like and you subscribe, you also get a chance to win certain prizes. That may include in-game prizes, and that may include a PS4 pass. So if you want to win these prizes, just make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, just do the YouTube stuff, just show support. And yeah, so this is the drawing. This is the Dawning Elite tournament at full force. We're seeing very good drafts from both sides. We're seeing very good engages. We're seeing very good game management. We're even seeing unconventional picks, because the Aldous, I don't think anybody other than Nemesis Prime would have thought of going for the Aldous pick, because there are certain disadvantages, especially leaning towards the early game. You don't really have that late early game insurance, especially because he needs a few stacks, if I'm not mistaken. If a few stacks, maybe 150, somewhere there or thereabouts, for him to really start being effective, or that damage to start being, felt. But otherwise, it's been a wonderful tournament, man. It's been a wonderful tournament. Just make sure you comment in the comment section just who's your favorite player, which team you're rooting for, also which combinations you would like to see from the tournament format, and which player among the subs, the starting lineups, resonates with your playing style. Just go free in the comment section and just show your support. And yeah, and we're still having trouble sorting out the teams, but we should have it done in a minute. We should have it sorted in a minute, so please bear with us. Yeah. A few of the players are calling for reschedule, which is unfortunate because we can't. It's looking likely that it's going to be a forfeit to the side of.
Ira, can you please tell Angel King to get on WhatsApp? Just type for him to get on WhatsApp.
Okay. Okay. Done. It is done. We're going to give it a 10 minutes. We're going to give Enigma, if I'm not mistaken, 10 minutes to sort out the lineups, or this is going to be a forfeit to the side of Seraphs. It's Enigma versus Holy Syrups. It's Enigma versus Holy Syrups, and 1 point towards Enigma. Yeah, it's a best of three. It's a best of three. So after the initial first 4 games, it's a best of three. Every other match or versus,
All right.
it's a best of three.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them an update. So the options that I've given to the squad leader of Enigma. So basically, these options are up to Angel King, the leader of Holy Seraph. The options are, firstly, they will face them in a 4v5. So basically, uh, what they'll do is that they'll start tomorrow's games on a 1-1 slate. So the first will award the game to Holy Seraphs, and we'll reschedule the match till tomorrow, or they can just
And
continue with
tomorrow will be a
4v5.
best of one.
Sorry?
I'm saying tomorrow it will be a best of one.
Yeah, so Holy Seraphs will be 1-1. Let me just see what the option they pick here.
We apologize for the inconvenience. This is why we specifically made a note that you needed subs to a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4 to avoid scenarios like this. But it's unfortunate, life happens and emergencies can happen at any moment. So we're still waiting to see what Angel King replies, and yeah, we'll either go to the next round of matches or the next round of upper bracket matches, or they'll have to find a sub between now and 9:05. 9:05. So again, we apologize for the inconvenience. Please bear with us as we try to get back to the games and give you the matches that you came for. I would also like to remind everyone that after this round of match, there's still going to be another team. Is it Aqua Deers? Aqua Deers versus winner of game 3. Who was game 3? Do? Was it wasted potential? Yeah, it was wasted potential. So after this, it's going to be wasted potential versus Aqua Deers. I think the regulars within the tournament scene, are they not? Wasted potential. Wasted potential. One of the debutants.
Wasted Potential and Aqua Deers weren't in Equilibrium, but I'm sure they were in MSA. I think they were in MSA, yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah. Hey Nigel, is there going to be another game after this? Okay. So that's Aqua Deers versus Wasted Potential is tomorrow. Yeah, no, Seppi was asking me about it. Okay. Yeah, we can go.
Okay, it seems this is a continuation. So the point that was going to be allocated towards holy syrups as that's not going to happen anymore. So we're just going to continue with the series, and it is 1 point towards the side of Enigma, towards the side of Enigma. So if they win this, it's GG and it's the end of the series, and they head, they move forward towards the final. Is it the semifinal, if I'm not mistaken? And if um, Holy Serps lose this, they will be heading down towards the lower bracket. They will be heading down towards the lower bracket. But I do think they still have a chance to make a comeback, especially with Enigma 9 losing Taka, who was very effective in the first game, with the WAN, getting the kills, solo kills. If I'm not mistaken, the
All right,
solo
invite me and
kills
let me go, my
amounted to
boy.
like 2 or 3. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the solo kills amounted to like 2 or 3, which is a big, you know, a big contributor to why they were able to win, why they were able to snowball that far. So let's see how the Holy Syrups or the Syrups, you know, uh, let's see how the Syrups respond to the first game.
All right,
Are we
no,
about to
you
start?
start. All right, you love your host, my dude.
Your team is banning.
Yes, and we see we have a ban here. I do think they're gonna. Oh, they go for the Nolan ban. They go for the Nolan ban just to try to take away some of Conan's maybe comfort picks, or just trying to take some heroes that they think they might struggle with. And we have a Jarhead ban here. They're still respecting Angel King's Jarhead from the first game.
Yeah, no, just to remind teams that are probably wondering what's happening. It was gonna be a forfeit if Enigma 9 did not have Circuit come play for the game. So, but luckily they got him right in time. It was within the 10 minutes, so they'll be able to secure the game. Like, he still be able to play. Yeah. So that's what's happening right now.
Every bullet of mine is a gift for
Okay.
you.
Is this the Granger in the jungle? It's the Granger.
Team is picking.
Yeah,
Wow.
Granger jungle.
And yeah, they go for the Balmond. This would be very interesting, This would be very interesting. We haven't really seen how teams here can really handle, these non-conventional picks, so they haven't really made a good account of themselves in handling these, non-conventional picks like Granger. I don't think he's meta at the moment, but he's still a very good pick if you know how to use him well. The Death Sonata, um, a very good ult. Rhapsody, he can still deal a lot of damage within the early game. So he's still a very good hero. We just don't know how that will translate towards the early game. And they're going for 2 marksmen within the first 3 picks, which Granger and Clint. So they're showing their damage. They're showing their damage cards basically. With the first 2, and the ban towards the Irithel. As we all know, the Irithel can sometimes be a problem for the Clint.
Horology is my craft.
And the side of Seraphs decide to ban Diggy. I think maybe they're going to go for more. If they don't stick the Bellric towards the roam, they're going to go for a more engage type of tank, and the Diggy can really be a counter towards that. So I think they're trying to prepare for that. And the Lilia, oh, I thought it was the Lilia for a minute. But yeah, it's now to the side of Enigma, and I think they're going to go for the Kadita pick for the mid lane.
Seas are my domain.
It'll be interesting to see what type of Roma they combine with the Kadita pick. She's very, I don't want to say combo reliant, but you get the best out of her if you combo her with the likes of Atlas, maybe Johnson. So it'll be interesting what type of Roma they decide to go with.
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, signature picks coming in from Enigma 9. They have the Granger on Con. They have Circuit. Who seems to be going Julian Rome? No, what they need here? They're going Kadita Rome. Okay, that's interesting.
No, it's
No, they're not.
the Kadita is going to the mid lane, and they're going for the Matilda. What do you think about the Matilda?
I think the Matilda is a comfort hero. Circuit is the number 1 Matilda in the country, or at least South Africa wise. It is good for the disengage for the Belleric. Remember, Belleric he doesn't see a lot of people and then keep them there. Basically, it's just about continuous stun, quote unquote. So if they have a Matilda, they can just dash out of that whole thing.
Yeah, with the Guiding Wind is it's a very useful tool for disengaging. But people also forget that the Matilda she has a lot of damage in and of herself, so she can, I don't want to say dive, but she can dive into the back line rather easily. So it'll be interesting to see how Circuit plays this Matilda. Will it be more defensive approach or more attacking based? I tried to predict the last game that since they don't have a front laner, they'll play more safe, but it didn't pan out that way. So it'll be interesting to see how they use this Matilda this time.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm interested to see how the team does. I mean, they did mention that Circuit had a bit of network issues. So
Yo,
let's see
guys.
how. Yeah. What's happening?
Yo, do you think we can let Doof commentate as well? Because I think he's really, really eager to.
No, I
He's
gave him
writing
the
stuff on the
option. I
screen.
don't know. I told him he can speak. I'm not sure where he is. You actually, you can commentate this game, and I'll do the admin. Right?
He's gonna be busy writing on the screen instead of commentating.
There was like an early game skirmish to the start, and the side of Enigma get the Lethal Wanderer. But Belleric is very, very low. I'm wondering if they disengage immediately or they continue the fight. They disengage. Yeah, so which jungler do you guys like here between the the Granger and the Alpha.
I like Alpha as a hero with the Warwick's buff, but Granger is good in not like basically in evading Alpha's skills. Because remember, Alpha is all about continuous damage. Like the more hit skills you land, the better your damage is, etc., etc. But like Granger manages to escape a bit there. But I wouldn't count Alpha out of the game yet.
Yes, and it seems as though Enigma decided to camp, well, especially Khan is deciding to camp here, waiting to get the kill on the PNK, and she uses the shield. Is she going to survive? And Khan uses the Death Sonata to get the kill. And they're also looking for a double kill towards the Bellaric. Tokolo, she gets the kill, that name. But yeah, the marksman Clint gets the kill, and it looks like it's a very these skills will they compound, especially when you give them towards marksman. They can become really dangerous towards the late game, and as we've seen, Enigma 9 really knows how to take care of an advantage. So right now it's not looking good towards the side of the Seraphs.
Definitely. I think maybe the serves here in this game need to work a bit on. It's a bit rough, man, especially with the picks. I feel like as the side of Enigma is a lot of heroes that are pretty good in a team. They work well together. Like look at the Matilda just going in here. I think the Nana didn't know that they were there, and unfortunately he ends up dying. But Khan is in a terrible position here. Ruby can kill there. He is very low. Come on, he manages to kill the with a shutdown. It was only a double kill. So Khan does fall, and that gives Alpha the ability to even out the farm. I think you'll be able to reach level 6 in a bit.
Yes, and as we're approaching the 4-minute mark, we're seeing that there's a bit of a 3k gold lead to the side of Enigma. And as we've seen, they really know how to create and maintain a gold lead. Also, the marksman is fed, especially because the their composition is tailored towards the late game. The Matilda can be rather a headache to go against in the late game, especially with the guiding wind and the circling eagle as well. So now we see Nemesis and Khan implode on Mimic here on top lane, and they do get the kill. And also Jinx gets the kill in mid lane. Yeah, Enigma 9 seems to be imploding on top of the Sphinx at the moment. And I don't think Jinx knows that Alpha is there. Alpha engages, but Jinx managed to get out in time. In the meanwhile, Nemesis Prime and Khan take out the Torrent in the top lane.
Alpha's gonna pick up Warriors, and he's gonna start dealing an insane amount of damage there.
Yeah, but when you're going, it doesn't. The build doesn't really matter if you're going up against the snowball.
Definitely, and they're a bit behind now. Gold lead nearing 5k. I think maybe they need to utilize what they have in their drop, which is the Billeric, but unfortunately the Matilda, man. Matilda is a bit of a problem for them. There's a very good off from Billeric there. Will he be able to get the kill? I mean, the Popo and Koopa is there in the back line. They might be able to get a shutdown. Unfortunately, there's so much things going on here. Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, they are dead.
Yes, and that is a 3-4-0 trade towards the side of Enigma. And I do think they're going to go for this buff after this turtle, just to cement that lead. And it's almost it's a two-level gap, if I'm not mistaken, for Khan. And you can see the amount of damage the Granger is doing. Also the Clint with finishing off Khan with the Death Sonata in hopes of getting Fallen, and Mimic using I'm offended, if I'm not mistaken, using the ult, but unfortunately unable to get Khan. In the meanwhile, Nemesis at top is pushing the top lane. That is a lot of stacks, I'm sure. That is a lot of stacks this person has. He's a fat Aldous right now.
I'm very surprised Holy Seraph didn't try to counter pick the Aldous. I mean, you can, pick a. Oh, very good ult from the Ruby there. Manages to catch a few people. Nemesis
Very
found in a
good
terrible
combination.
position.
Very good combination.
Oh, but the damage,
Unfortunately, they don't
unfortunately,
have
too
the
much damage.
damage to supplement it. And here we see the PNK dealing a lot of damage towards the Granger, but the Death Sonata comes in clutch for Khan. As he gets a kill, that's 5, 1, and 9 for Khan. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, the inhibitor torrent is being taken down to half HP before we reach the 7-minute mark. That's not really good for the Seraphs right now. It's looking likely that they will go down in the lower bracket.
I mean, they can still pull up something. Yeah, they are not in a terrible position to be. I mean, there's what 9K gold
Right?
lead. They can still do something.
Yes, and the rough way pulled out by the Jinx to get Fallen. They really know how to, come together and use these combinations very well. But yeah, you're right. The Alpha ult, the Armor Fendant from the Ruby, also the Belleric Wrath of Dreyard, if I'm not mistaken. Very good ultimates that can be used in conjunction with each other. And Alpha here seems to be the focus, which Alpha gets the kill on King. They also unplugged here. Mimic in the midst of everything, and Alpha gets a triple kill towards Nemesis Prime. So it's looking like a GG at the moment because Nemesis scales, both marksman scale a lot faster and a lot stronger, but the Seraphs are not going down without a fight. But it's unfortunate as Clint clutches the game, and it's GG in under 8 minutes.
Victory!
Towards the side of Enigma. So the late game composition managed to get the early game win. This side of Enigma, they're really, really strong. They have really good players inside of Nemesis. Second, also with the assists. Tokoroshi, you know, does really well there at the gold lane. So it's almost a repeat of the first game. It's almost a repeat of the first game as Enigma show their dominance, their skill. Yeah, Granger wasn't even 3 items and they managed to clinch the win. That is amazing. That is amazing. What do you guys think?
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, GG well played. Yeah, so
Yeah,
GG well played. Yeah, no,
GG.
analyze the game quickly before I start on the last minute admin, and we yeah.
That's GG. That's a great way to end the series, man. That's a great way to end the series. And I think that's the end of today's matches, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Because the last one that was scheduled for today is going to be scheduled for tomorrow.
You will.
Yes.
Yeah, the game will be yeah, yeah, it'll be tomorrow around 5 p.m. I'm just gonna confirm quickly.
5 p.m.
I'm gonna organize. Don't worry, but it's gonna be the first game of tomorrow's matches.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today, it seems. Wonderful display from all the teams, especially Enigma 9. They absolutely dominated this series. But let's not discount Holy Seraphs just yet. The underdogs, they have to have their sad story at some point. So I do think they will come back. I do think they'll do well in the lower bracket, and try to pull off wins here and there. But yeah, that's GG towards Enigma 9 as they go towards the semi-final of the tournament. Remember, this is the upper bracket. There's still the lower bracket to be held tomorrow. We will see all the teams that lost today again tomorrow, and also is it Wasted Potential? Wasted Potential as the first match has Nigel just confirmed. So it's looking like a great tournament so far. It's a wonderful way to end the day, and let me hear what Doof has to say. I want to hear his opinion on this matches. Doof.
Alright, my opinion is please get Seasoned Hunter. Please, I beg you. If you don't get it, it's gonna be a slow jungle. You're gonna be level 3 while the other jungler is level 5. Please get Seasoned Hunter. You don't understand what a difference this one talent makes. We've seen it happen.
Yeah, we've seen a 3 level lead, almost close to 4.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean,
really has a big difference.
while they're still busy with their first buff, the other enemy jungler is close to completing their second buff. It's crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. Especially when you add that to, really heroes that really know how to that really know how to clear their jungle fast. So you add that to it, so it just compounds. So yeah, they really need to get that. They really need to get these. They really need to get that. But what about who impressed you the most? I want to hear that. Who impressed you the most throughout the whole day?
Uh, I think that would be the Tigreal from Pain Messiah. That Tigreal was blowing my mind. Uh,
In a good way or a negative way?
I don't know. It was like 50-50 because he was doing such good sets at times, but at the wrong time. And then it
Yes.
was just like blowing my mind how he was getting one person when everyone was together. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy plays, and sometimes you would just ult one person, and the team wouldn't engage on that, and it was very chaotic integral. But I think those are kind of the best, don't you think so? These players that are unpredictable.
Yeah. Just some of the things he was doing, like concealing, and he just ran through the entire enemy, like he ran through all the enemies. He just ran past them. I was like, what the hell?
But that did work out. I think he did make a good set towards like the Lord Dance. It's just there wasn't enough damage, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
But
not.
he
It's
really
not
did have
that.
good play.
It's not that. I think it was. It was more like, see, in that specific match, it would have been that you had to kind of what you call it, do as much as you can in the early game. Like if you did your job and you were making the sets and your team was able to follow up on those sets, there was no reason to not end, after 15 minutes. Sorry, before 15 minutes, because it's a Leslie, and the Leslie too should not be winning against the Brody. It doesn't make sense. I think it was just about a skill gap there.
Yeah, especially when you consider that the Leslie hadn't even built BOD, and he was still winning against the Brody. It's unfortunate on that end. But it was a good series, and the players, they gave it the all. Um, Especially the Tig, as you've mentioned, even though some of his sets were a bit wayward, he showed heart because I don't think he gave up at all, if I'm not mistaken.
Look,
He just kept
the,
trying to
the
pull them off,
things.
trying to pull them off.
Yeah, he kept trying. That's what I like. But I think the things that I like about this tournament is basically giving teams that would not necessarily have the opportunity to meet each other on the battlefield. You're giving them that opportunity. Like I don't think I've ever seen Pain Messiah versus Enigma 9, for example, and that could possibly happen. It gives some of the less skilled teams a chance to learn firsthand rather than watching a stream or watching YouTube videos and tips and tutorials and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it creates a platform to just to see the difference in skill, to see where they can improve. Because I do think that some of the teams that lost today, they do have things they can take away from it.
Yeah,
It's not that you lost. You can also take away from it. Okay, what have you learned about each other? in terms of how sometimes you don't necessarily know your own teammates. You don't know how aggressive they can be. You don't know how passive they can be. So it kind of gives them that platform to know how they would react, in a tournament type of setting. Also, it just goes to give them an example of what they can add to their own game. The type of rotations we've seen from, Enigma 9. That's something that a lot of teams can adapt to their gameplay. So yeah, it's a wonderful platform. It's a wonderful platform.
Yeah, for sure. I
So
mean, so when you're watching, a lot of the times you go to tournaments like M5, MSC, MPL, and you see what you should do, right? So you can learn what you should do from them. But in this tournament that we have here, where we have, more than half of them are new teams, you can have a look and see what you shouldn't do. And what you shouldn't do is panic and just like for example, the Minotaur in one of the games, I can't remember which game it was, but he was not timing his engages properly, especially for the base defense. You need to keep your calm. You can't just panic
yes,
and because
yes,
he went in, right? I think
yes.
who was
I
that
saw that.
against? Was it against Enigma? Because there was or was it against someone else? I know there was a Barat in the enemy team.
Yes. It wasn't no, okay. It wasn't FEI. I'm not. I don't remember, but I know the play that you're talking about.
Yeah,
He altered. I think did he flicker in? I don't
he
think he
flickered
flickered
in
in.
as well, and he missed. I
He
think he only
flickered
got
in.
the Barats.
Yes, because they want, the enemy team they want in and around his attack area. So it was a weird alt from him, especially when you're in a defense. An alt like that can really be a game changer. It wasn't necessarily late game, but these types of plays in the late game or in the mid to late game can really, push the team towards like a mid push, a mid push type of comeback. So it was really surprising for him to do that, especially knowing that some of his teammates were in the base. They weren't in the right space to, capitalize on his engage. But yeah, it's as you said, it's one of those things where you have to look back and say, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And that's the type of lessons they can take away.
Yeah, not only for the players themselves, but for the people watching them, the viewers.
Yes, yes. And since you've mentioned the viewers, I'd also like to remind them, if they're still here, that you guys still have a chance to win um uh a game for a PS4, sorry,
As Xbox
Game
Xbox,
Pass.
Pass,
Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Um,
Xbox Game
do you guys
Pass.
want to do that one now? Do you want to do now? To the last strong people who remained, we can do the giveaway, and then tomorrow we do another one. Right?
Let me
The
just see. Let me just see.
What would you
Excuse
rather do
me.
that tomorrow? There's 13 people left, 12 people left, so the competition is decreasing. Would you rather do that tomorrow?
Yeah, we can
Uh,
do a giveaway between the games. I think that would be better when we have more
Okay.
people.
Okay, perfect. So we'll do one tomorrow. We're gonna be starting early. It's at around 6. The game that was scheduled for tonight, the upper bracket match, which is Aqua Diaz versus Waste of Potential, will be moved tomorrow at around 6. We will communicate the times tomorrow, but there'll also be lower bracket matches tomorrow. So, uh, plenty of exciting games tomorrow coming up. I mean, it is people the squads that lost, but I mean they'll definitely show that there was plenty of more stuff to offer. It wasn't the best of one. Usually you don't get to showcase whatever you got there. So let's just see how the squads perform tomorrow.
Alright, cool stuff. We can end off,
Oh.
so give the closing remarks and then I can stop.
Ara, you can do the closing remarks, sir. Ara. Let me do
yeah,
it.
I'm
Okay.
still
Anyway,
here.
guys,
I'm still here. I'm still here.
we got. Yeah,
I
no, we
was just,
can see
I
us
was just doing
kind
something.
of
I was
fast.
just doing something. My bad. But yeah,
That's okay.
to everyone that is still here, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being part of the tournament. Or in terms of the casters, it was me, Avery, Nigel, or otherwise known as Infinite Void, and Doof, among other people that are,
Again.
you
And then
know, should be
Skywalker with
giving
the
credit
admin.
towards the tournament.
Thank you for organizing the admin on WhatsApp. Anyways, yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that, and we hope to see
Thank
you
you
again
to
tomorrow.
Blue for the diamonds, for the diamond prize pool. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Duke, for streaming. And thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow, right?
Cheers. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we're going to have so much energy.